Okay guys, here is a short video on how to housebreak your dog. I haven't made this video up to now because, you know, it's really kind of easy thing to do, you know, and I like to try to make my videos on things that, you know, are funny and kind of inspiring. They're not meant to be a step-by-step, but this is actually going to be a step-by-step video. This is what you need to do to housebreak your dog. You don't need any bells. You don't even really need to be getting your dog and taking them outside every hour. You just need to stick to a simple system. And the system that I use here is a combination of supervision, outside time with exercise, and confinement. And I list those things in that order because it's an important thing for me to think about them that way, right? I want to be watching my dog. I want to be interacting with my dog, okay? And I want to take that dog outside as much as possible. I want to make a good, strong puppy that's used to going out in the world and doing things. And when he's outside, I can really influence him. And listen, the exercise stimulates that dog's need for elimination, right? When the puppy's at rest, the body's processing all that food, right? Using what it needs and turning the excess into waste. And then when you get ready to go outside, and if the dog really anticipates doing a lot of exercise when you go outside, its body's going to go, oh wow, we have to get rid of this waste. We have to shed this waste. Like you'll hear people talk about it, like people that compete in dog sports and stuff. They'll be like, oh, you got to let your dog air out. You know, so as soon as they let them out, they let them run and get them excited and play fetch with them and stuff. But what happens is, right as they let them out of their crates or their box or the house or their kennel or whatever it is, they'll tell them something like, hurry up. You know, and so what that dog's thinking in his mind is, oh, I better go potty because we're fixing to do a whole bunch of physical activity. All right, so that's what I need. I need a dog that I'm looking at, a dog that's looking at me, following me around so he's easy to supervise, and one that expects us to really do a lot of exercise when we go outside so this body gets in that habit of shedding that waste as soon as he gets a chance to do it in an appropriate place outside. Now, I list confinement last in that list, and I do so on purpose. I think these little plastic prisons that everybody keeps their dogs in, I think that's a little bit overdone. I look at the crate as a necessary evil, okay? And I want you to look at it the same way. It's like a playpen for a little child. Like there are times when you know, especially if you're a working parent like me, and my son would come to work with me, and I had a little plastic prison for him, basically, a little mesh prison. I'd stick him over there so the dogs wouldn't knock him down or so he wouldn't eat something he wasn't supposed to, you know? But I don't keep him in there now that he's bigger. Okay, I let him, you know, I expect him to understand how to come to work and not eat dog poop, you know, whatever it is that he might have been getting into when he was a year old or 15 months old. So always in your mind, when you're using these little crates and stuff to help you housebreak a dog or to help you get those dogs through those difficult stages, you know, where they might be tearing something up in your house or might be eating something that's dangerous to them. Okay, necessary evil. You don't want a dog, if you go over to somebody's house and their dog keeps running back and forth into their crate, like they love the crate too much. And I hear that all the time. People come here and they're, oh, my dog loves the crate. Okay, that would be exactly like if I came to your house and your kid kept running in the closet. Right? If you kept your kid in the closet enough, yeah, he would get used to it. Like that Gimp on Pulp Fiction. But the reality is, I got 3 or 4 crates that I leave out here all the time just to show people, hey, these dogs don't love crates. When you give them 5-10 acres to run on, hey, you never catch them over here in one of these little plastic prisons. Never. Okay, so you use your crate as you have to, and I don't mean to make you feel bad about using it because I know you have to use it, but you use it as little as possible, and if you use it, you make sure that there's a correspondingly large amount of exercise preceding that crate time, right? Okay, not just you walk them 10 feet, let them potty, put them back in the crate. I'm talking about get on your bicycle, get out there and throw a ball for them, get out there and throw a frisbee for them, do something fun with them, okay? Because they need to be tired if you're going to stick them in them little plastic prisons, okay? All right, now let's move on to some little tricks about how to get them to like going in there. Okay guys, so let's talk about supervision for a minute. Okay, now what you'll notice, like look at this little dog here, Critter. This dog just came from the Paris Humane Society, whatever they call it over there. And so, of course, he's not housebroken. He's been living on concrete in a pen for a long time. And so, you know, he doesn't know. Like, he might as well, you know, like down here at my kennel, my floor, it's a tile floor, it's a hard floor. So he first gets here, well, heck, he doesn't know about pottying, so he just potties wherever. That's what he's been having to do here lately. you know? And so I don't want to fuss at him. I don't want to tell him he's in trouble for pottying in the floor. I want to teach him that it's just much more hygienic. It's much better to potty outside where the other dogs potty, way out in the corner of the field, you know? Yeah, I try to reduce the poop scooping as much as possible. So let's talk about supervision. A lot of times, you know, people get this wrong when I tell them about supervision via email or something. They think I mean to follow that dog around all day, like as he roams around your house to follow him around. Well, that's not going to work. You know, there for a while, I'll tell you what got real popular with housebreaking puppies was what was called a umbilical method, where you would just tether the puppy to you during the day and go about your business, and you would be kind of tied. But obviously, that's not gonna last for most dog owners, because it's just too much. It's too problematic. It's aggravating. So what I do instead, I get a little dog-like critter. I start controlling his rations right off the bat. Now, the reason I'm controlling his rations is because he needs his rations, so he's going to follow me around and try to figure out how to look at them. Well, the first week that a dog's here, we go through a process, as you know about from my other videos, of what we call Good Student Week. So that dog's just following me around, and I'm doing a thing called free shaping, where, you know, I'm just rewarding him for being close to me, for being calm, for being attentive, for looking at me. And so it's easy to supervise him because he's always following me around. So the key to supervision, right, it's not for you to try to follow the dog around and force your supervision on him. It's to make the dog follow you around and want to be supervised. Okay, so right off the bat, when you get your puppy, take a little bit of his rations and just, you know, let him follow you around. And as he follows you around and he's doing something that you'd like to see again, reward him. Like, I would like to be showing you guys how this works while I'm walking around out in the yard, but I'm without a cameraman today because my lovely assistant is still on maternity leave, okay? So what do you do? All right, so we're just gonna have to sit here and just pretend that I'm walking around, because these treats that I'm giving this dog right now, okay, I would be walking around. Or if we were inside the kennel right now, I would expect this dog to be kind of wherever I was. If I was washing bowls or I was talking to somebody, see, I want him there. Now, the thing is with this is it makes it very easy to supervise. I know what Critter's doing right now. He's not pottying in the floor. He's not chewing anything up. He's not doing anything bad. Okay, and he likes being supervised. I'm not forcing the supervision on him. I'm not dominating him. I'm not giving him a hard time. I'm not following him around looking to punish him or rub his nose in some potty. I'm just saying, listen, dude, hang out with me. You come, just voluntarily take my supervision, and I'm going to supervise you into a great life. Okay, so apply this principle with your puppy right off the bat. Supervision, real easy. Good boy, Critter. Okay, now let's talk about my favorite part of housebreaking a dog, which is just exercise. Now again, when I get up in the morning, I'm gonna get up early before I go to work, and I'm gonna take that dog outside every day and exercise him. Okay, now so if you knew you were getting ready to exercise, like you go to a ballpark where kids are getting ready to play football or soccer or whatever, what's every kid doing? They're all going to the potty, okay, because their body is saying, oh, let's get ready. Okay, let's get ready for this athletic endeavor. You want to see a bunch of people going to the potty? I coach MMA at a gym in Lexington, and for these kids, we do boxing, we do kickboxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and MMA. Hey, and these kids, you talk about, you go to a sporting event like that where kids are really putting it on the line physically, you know, hey, those potties are full for a long time before those fights start. Okay, so what I want to do is I want that dog in the mindset of, hey, we get up early in the mornings and exercise. So when we're going to exercise, I got to get rid of waste. So if you're real lucky when you bought a dog, you know that dog really likes to fetch, and there's no faster way to burn a dog out in the morning times than with just a tennis ball and a tennis racket. This is fun. You can whack the ball up in the air. You can whack it. I mean, you can just do all kinds of crazy stuff with it, okay? Now, a Kong is also great because when you throw a Kong, when a Kong hits the ground, it bounces erratically, you know, kind of like a football bounces, right? Not all dogs like to fetch, so you got to walk them. Well, listen, don't just walk them on a flat plane, you know? That's not that interesting mentally or physically. Look at my other videos and notice when I'm walking dogs, we're always doing some type of mental or physical challenge. See, I need that dog anticipating that challenge so that dog's body goes, okay, I'm gonna get completely prepared mentally and physically to conquer this challenge that Stonnie's gonna put in front of me this morning, okay? And so that body shoots that waste out real quick, very predictably, okay? So, I have another thing called a Springer, and you can look at my video, my Pit Bull Rehabilitation Part 4 video, okay, where again a dog had been kept in a pound a long time, little bit questionable on the potty habits. As soon as you start, you know, letting that dog know that you're gonna get up early in the morning and take a long ride on the bicycle, that dog's body just goes, bam, gotta get rid of this waste. because I know we're going to go do a little ways on this bike. Okay, so see what I mean about you want to think in terms of setting the dog's body up to eliminate waste in anticipation of exercise. Now that brings us back kind of where exercise and supervision come together, right? When you're in the house, you need to take your puppy outside the potty after periods of inactivity. Okay, like so a puppy's taking a nap, that body's processing waste, get it up, walk out the door. That puppy is going to anticipate that you're going to exercise, so its body's going to start trying to get rid of that waste quick. If you've been watching a movie, okay, and the puppy's up on the couch with you, same thing, even though he's not napping, but you're stroking him gently. When he gets up, gonna have to go potty. What does everybody do? You go to the movies? What happens after the movie? Potties are full, right? Been in a long car ride. What happens after the car ride? Pull in, bam, everybody goes to the potty. Been at a restaurant, right? What happens when everybody gets up to leave from sitting? Been at a sporting event, okay? You see what I mean? How the periods of inactivity are the precursors to having to eliminate. Because the period of inactivity is when the waste is being processed, okay? So it's real simple. And that's where that overlap comes with the supervision. So like you're watching him out of the corner of your eye while you're doing stuff around the house, he's napping, gets up, bam, you know he needs to go outside. He's been in his crate, of course, that's a long period of inactivity. So you let him out of his crate, bam, he's got a potty. All right, guys, listen. So that's all you got to do is stick to these three fundamental things, right? Okay, so let's cover confinement, the very last, my least favorite, and then you'll be on your way to having a really nice and reliably housebroken puppy. Thanks. Now, how do I get the dogs to like going in the crate? Do a couple of different things. Now, remember I was talking about like during the day where the dog's just following me around, I'm supervising, I'm kind of free shaping. I do that a lot with the crate. I'll leave the crate door open, you know, and I'll periodically just throw pieces of food into the crate. The dog will go in there, right? Okay. Now, obviously, this dog's a little big for this crate, but I couldn't get it on the camera, so just kind of use your imagination. So I'm just walking through the room, and as I come through my kitchen or wherever my crate is, I just go, hey, kennel up, and I make a sweeping hand gesture, and I throw a couple of little treats down there into that crate, right? Now, I'm going to show you a little trick that you can do that really help your dog want to anticipate getting in the crate if it's been properly exercised, and it's going to be napping anyway, and that's the use of a Kong, right? Now I know sometimes you'll see on the internet where like people talk about these Kongs and dogs getting their tongue stuck in Kongs. I'm sure that's possible. I'm sure it's happened somewhere at some time, okay? But me personally, I never seen it, you know, so you just have to kind of look at it as a risk-reward thing. I like the Kong. I like when I throw it. It makes an erratic movement, you know, and the dog chases it and it moves its body a lot and it gets a lot of good exercise chasing the Kong, so that's neat. I like it because the Kong's as good as what you put in it. Right? If I put a bunch of diamonds or $100 bills in here, I could probably get you to get in that crate, or at least give it a shot, you know? Now, speaking of putting things in a Kong, all the time people are asking me, hey, Stonnie, should I put peanut butter in a Kong? No! No, if you drop a dog off in a peanut field, you're not going to come back later and that dog's gorged on peanuts. Nothing but peanuts. I don't think a dog would eat a peanut, you know? Okay, salt and sugar, and I don't even know what's in here, okay? But I know I have this because somebody brought it down here with a Kong. And I use it only for illustrative purposes now. This is probably 20 years old. Okay, so what's an overachiever dog owner do, okay? What an overachiever dog owner does, okay? Here, I'm gonna get this out of the way because before the dogs get some of that junk food in their system. Okay, what an overachiever dog owner does is they make a liver pate. They bake some liver. Okay, I used to have a girl that worked for me and she did this. She's an overachiever, she's awesome, right? Make a liver pate, put it in a Vitamix, make a real paste out of it, shove it in the Kong at night. So she's got a big giant Kong full of liver, okay? And it's frozen, and in the morning she gives the dog a frozen Kong sickle full of meat, right? Meat rules in the dog world, that's the best. That's what a really good, awesome dog owner does. I'm pretty awesome dog trainer, maybe not the most awesome, okay? Pretty good dog owner, maybe not the best dog owner. Okay, so I'm lazy and I do something almost as good. I take a can of dog food, okay? I get a lid for it because it'll last all week. And then I just take this canned dog food and I shove it in the Kong. Now this canned dog food, listen, I know it's not perfect, right? It's a little bit of It's a little bit of junky food in here too, but it's nothing like as junky as that peanut butter, right? And it's about junky like eating at Five Guys is. It's still a good, you know, meat and potatoes. Still pretty good for you, even though it's got some bad stuff. And so I just stuffed this canned dog food in. I rub a little bit on the lip. Okay, and then what I do before I leave, like watch, I'm gonna have to push Critter out of the way here. What I do is I put the Kong in the crate 10 minutes before I leave. Okay? Now, even this dog over here, you'll see everybody coming from everywhere looking about getting in that crate. Now, so what happens is I've exercised my dog, I've had a chance to let him potty, I've brought him in, I've spent some time with him, and as I get ready to go to work, if I was a working man, okay, I would put this Kong in here about 10 minutes before I left. And so what I end up with, look at these dogs trying to get in here to get to this Kong. They go crazy, you know? And they're looking at me going, hey, Stonnie, don't you have to get to work? Don't you have to get to work? Don't you have to get to work? And I'm like, yeah, I gotta go. And they're like, well, let me in that box, that little plastic prison before you leave. And I'm like, well, okay, if you insist, right? So I've got a good, tired, exercise dog. And that dog is so excited about getting in the crate, he's trying to ram his head in there, right? Okay, all because of a little canned dog food and a Kong, because they like their Kong anyway. And I don't feel bad because I know that dog's just going to go in there and it's going to go to sleep till I get back. Okay, so that's how I use a crate.